Hey everyone, welcome to this week's little short message from Intrinsic Education. I'm Craig Carolyn, and the idea today is to just share a few thoughts around what's happening to us and how we can deal better with being in this lockdown, and then also to talk a little bit about education, because that's obviously my background and where I work. So the first thing, before we even start, I want to give a massive shout out to all the teachers who are working so hard in the background. I know that it's supposed to have been Easter break, but I can imagine that 99% of you have not had a break at all, because you've been preparing resources and trying to make sure that your kids have got work. And it really, we are so massively grateful for all the work that you guys are putting in the background. In what is a really stressful time, many of us aren't as skilled in IT as others. So we're all finding this really, really new, and like I say, a big thank you to everything that you're doing and to what you are, no doubt going to do in the future. So this video, really, I thought I'd share a couple of ideas on positive psychology and positive education, and maybe you can take those ideas this weekend and sit down as a family and see how you can put them in place for next week. So I'm going to talk about the PERMA model, and in particular I'm going to talk about the PERMA V model, which comes from the positive psychology model. And what that is P stands for positive emotions, E for engagement, R for relationships, M for meaning, A for achievement, and the V at the end is for vitality. So to start off with the P, positive emotions, one of the things about emotions is that we either go into an upward spiral or a downward spiral, and it can be really difficult at this time to get out of that downward spiral when everything we see on social media is negative. So how are you engaging in trying to get yourself into the upward spiral of positive emotion? The really powerful things that you can work on are the emotions of gratitude and obviously being grateful for what we have, the small things that are really important. And sometimes we overlook them, and now's a chance to reflect on that. And the other one is kindness. And who are you reaching out to? Are you being kind to those less fortunate? Are you connecting with people and being kind? Because this is a time that they really need it. The second one is engagement. What is it that you're engaging with? That one thing that that gives you great joy. Whether it's reading, whether it's spending some quality time with your family, which I think is so critical, and we definitely don't do enough of that. So what is it you're engaged in? Have you found that thing that maybe it's gardening? Maybe we're having a bit of a bake-off. We've got a group of people. Is it being engaged with that and really using that to connect with people? The next one is relationships, and I've just spoken about that. How are you connecting with the ones that you love? Yes, we have our families with us in this lockdown, but what about our extended families? Now's the time that they really need us. We don't have connection, the physical connection, but how can we engage? How can we sort of connect with people in terms of building relationships? So reach out to, maybe it's to friends that you haven't spoken to for a while. The next one is meaning. Again, how are you finding meaning in these difficult times? Maybe it is about growing your personal, doing some personal growth, whether it's taking part in a meditation group. I'm on a 21-day Oprah Winfrey and Deepak Chopra meditation, which has been great. So finding that kind of meaning, growing ourselves, maybe writing a book, reading a book. And the next one is that whole idea of achievement. And I think you can see that if you engage in the previous ones, and we really have an opportunity to have these little pockets of achievement in our lives, which really add to our well-being and to our happiness. And then the last one is vitality. What are you doing to stay well? Whether it's physical exercise. My wife and my children are taking part every morning at 8 o'clock in an online fitness group, and it's been wonderful, and it's massive. And I know in the UK there's PE with Joe, tens of thousands of people taking part in phys ed lessons every morning. So what is it that you're doing to stay well? It doesn't have to be exercise. Like I said, it could be meditation, could be anything like that, but it's critical in these really difficult times that we're looking at our well-being. So why don't you take this weekend, spend a bit of time with your family, maybe it's by yourself, and reflect on these 6 things and look at how you can maybe be really proactive about putting them in place for next week. And hopefully by next week, Friday, when we check in again, you'll see some positive benefits. So most of all, stay safe, people. Look out for each other, and I look forward to chatting again soon.